Yeah.
So good. Yeah. Valor, isn't it so good? Valor with that. What a beautiful note to start on. Ah, valor. Absolutely fantastic. Good morning, Bridget, and welcome. It's so good to be back with you. I have taken a bit of a break. Some people may have noticed, some people might not have noticed, but I have taken a little bit of a break and just cooling things down for the end of the year. Although after our conversation just now, I might be ramping up, but actually I am. Yeah, I do have something in the plans, so I can talk about that later. But welcome, Bridget.
Yay!
So it's
Nice to
great.
be back because we didn't do October, so it does feel like it's been ages, hasn't it?
Yeah, exactly. So, so did I miss? So is this?
No,
Oh,
no, I was in Sydney and I was sick, so
yes.
I couldn't
Okay.
come with you.
Right.
Yeah,
Okay. So yeah, I've like time flies when you're having fun, doesn't it? It really does.
yes.
So I'm just getting my phone up so I can see what comments are happening, and it's interesting because there is quite a lag, isn't there? So
Oh, half of the internet is down right now, so that's a little bit Uranian. There we go.
okay. And when I woke up to my bank statement or something this morning, just I logged into my bank and things are down. What's happened there?
I don't
Oh,
know. Are we even on?
yes, we are definitely on. So if anyone is watching, it takes a while. Oh,
For people to jump in.
have you got your Facebook page open as well?
Yeah, yeah.
Yes. You might have to close that. Oh, it's not doing it
Closed.
now.
Done.
Oh, okay.
Done. 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 Everything is closed on me except for you.
And we'll see what's happening. Okay. All right. We got a little bit of feedback.
Oh
Was
no,
that?
yeah, no, that's
Oh no. I'm going to let you do the talking.
this is so funny. This is so funny. Oh,
Oh,
okay. All right. So do we just get into it? We're just mucking
yeah. Let's
around
get
now.
into it. This is
All
the
right.
action. This is the month for action. So let's just get into it. And I might just do a little in our group, a bit of an at everyone. See if we can rouse up some people. You never
Uh,
know. Yeah.
okay. I did say something in mine this morning too. All right, well, let me just talk while you're doing that. All right, so today, on the 4th of November, we had Saturn go direct. And, so Saturn went retrograde in June. Okay, so we may have felt between now, like mid June and now, that all the projects that we had came to a grinding halt.
Oh,
Oh my
that's
God, how
exactly
frustrating.
what happened to me. Really? Yeah.
Yeah. So now Saturn is direct again. We've done all that inner reflection. We've contemplated what it is we actually need to do now to get things moving again. Retrogrades are fabulous for letting us reassess. All right. So now Saturn got to 7 degrees of Pisces. So, we started to have this experience where we were making real our dreams. All right. Pisces is that, there we go. We've got someone. Hello.
Hey,
Um,
Francie.
so yeah, Pisces is, our subconscious. It's that spiritual realm. It's our dreams. It's also, it's also the subconscious narrative that we have in our mind. And we've been spending a lot of time reviewing and rewriting, reassessing what we actually tell ourselves and then rebuilding from the ground up. What are our actual beliefs? Right. So now that Saturn moves direct, we're going to start seeing the cogs turning again. We're going to be able to start, the energy that we're investing into our projects are going to start paying off. All right. So we've had a little period of rest. And look, now here, Saturn's direct, and here we are. We're ready to go again. All right. So that was the 4th. Now, today, we've also had Venus in Virgo, which she doesn't like very much. It's her
Oh,
sign of detriment, where she's a little bit overly critical. She is concerned with our health, and that's amazing, but she's just a little bit judgy. So
mm,
tonight at 8:30, she moves back into Libra, which is her home sign. So she's going to be like, oh, all right, she's loving life again, looking for beautiful things. How can I find balance in my relationships? How do I make nice with people? So that's a beautiful thing. So that's coming up to, like, that's today, like I said, at 8:30 tonight. So, now in general, this month is all about Mars, and Mars is action, but it's also accidents. It's drive and determination, but it's also angry words and egotistical attitudes. So there's going to be a lot of this month. So now in the beginning, we were talking about, we've got both Valor and Lemon.
Mhm.
How is it that we can, what's the best thing that you've got for calming our thoughts down? Because, Mars and everything that it's doing, like we've got Mars opposition Uranus, new moon in Scorpio, which is Mars ruled, Sun conjunct Mars, which is like a 2.5 year thing. And then Mars square Saturn at the end of the month. So very, very Marsy. We want to see if we can.
Comes to mind always Valor. That's one of our first port of calls with Young Living. So Valor is going to just help you keep you cool, and particularly if you'd mentioned a lot of energy in there, the Mars energy, and the energy of conflict, the energy of accidents and passion and wheels turning and all of those things. Now, often when those things are happening, we may not be really fully ready for other people's energy as well as our own. So I would be highly recommending our Valor. So I'm putting some on my wrist, smelling it. Beautiful, absolutely gorgeous. And you just sort of, when you really allow yourself just to embody that oil, it just sits you back in your seat and kind of, it says, look, it's all okay, it's all good, you're actually fine. So definite to have in your collection is Valor, because it's also going to be balancing. Now, if you've got you were talking about this conflict, so stress away is going to be the one that's just going to help you bubble along and stay above the stress, or stay out of the stress. Or if the stress does hit us, what can we do? Take a breath, smell your oil, put in the next thought of, I'm going to handle this with cool, calm and collected energy, rather than maybe get into the fight of things. I mean, I think there's times for confronting that Mars energy. Yum. But we don't always have to confront things necessarily head on. Maybe sometimes there's a little bit of navigating, to avoid the full front. Not that you're avoiding the issue, but learning how to handle it so that you don't get blown up with the wave. There's that feedback's coming.
Yeah. Now, the thing, sorry, just to add with that, because it's in alignment with what you're saying. Now, Mars rules both Aries and Scorpio. Now, Aries energy is very, let's just go do it. Very just, very youthful, and let's just, light the fire and see how it goes. Whereas a Scorpio is very strategic, and it's wise, and it's more like a battle-worn leader that knows how to place things in specific places, so that in the long term, it's like I said, it's got more strategy. So you figuring out what strategies to put into place, so that if you can see that other people around you are getting affected by this Mars, you've got yourself in good stead, because you know what's going on. So
you can put yourself in a little bubble, really, if you choose to. Put your oil on, imagine yourself in a bit of a bubble. I will speak minimally, because this feedback's playing up. That's never happened to us before, has it?
No.
Anyway, and Jean says she's been having a lot of dreams lately. Yes, and with all this energy coming up, I think November's going to be a big month. I'm hearing from other sources.
Yeah. Hi from Scotland. Ah, my
Australia.
maiden name is Scotland.
Hey, you
My maiden name is Scotland. So
oh, awesome.
hello.
We have Natalie from the USA. Hey.
Hey. Okay. All right. So the next Mars one that we've got is Sunday the 12th, or in Australia, it is Sunday the 12th. Now, this is a big one. And I mean, as you can see on the world stage right now, we are watching battles take place. So on Sunday, we have the exact opposition between Mars and Uranus. And that is sudden conflict, power struggles, a desire to break your own limiting behaviors, restless energy, but also that's a very accident prone, sudden unexpected Uranus, and then Mars is cuts, blood, surgery, knives, so we've got sudden and unexpected experiences opposing Mars, which is ouch. So just be careful. And even venom. So, like Uranus in Taurus, gardening. So just be careful of like bites in the garden. I know that's pretty broad, but it fits, So just watch for bumping into things, and so.
So you need your lavender oil, and you need to have that on for bumps and bruises. Helichrysum is brilliant for cuts, just to put the oil straight on your skin. Bites and things. Purification is a fantastic blend for those times to pop it on, and you'll find it just eases it. Eases the thing. I'll stop now.
No, that's cool. That's cool.
Yeah.
Okay. Because I'm not getting it. So you're getting it. I'm not getting it. All right. So just on the piggyback on that one. So the 12th and 13th, we've got a couple of days this month where back-to-back changes are occurring. All right. So the 12th, we have that Mars opposition Uranus. The 13th, we've got the new moon. Yay. Time to set new intentions in Scorpio. Whoa. All right. And the moon is very close to conjunction with the sun. Sorry, Mars is closely conjunct. So we have the sun and moon in Scorpio. That's a new moon, but also closely conjunct to Mars. So this is intensely passionate, deeply emotional. It's a turning point for a lot of people. There is a lot of potent energy, and it's one of those ones where, we're looking. There we go. You've got a new moon on your birthday, Leslie. That's amazing.
Wow.
So, being Scorpio, it is those dark, hidden recesses of our soul, the things that we tend to avoid because it is dark and scary. Sometimes Scorpio does bring up things around crisis and trauma, and but it is a great time for us to just allow, most of our, in general, our traumas are created in the past. So when we have memory, we tend to associate that feeling back there with this experience right now. If we can just sort of observe it from a isn't that interesting point of view, and actually have a look in the darkness, because the pressure is where the diamonds and jewels are made. If we don't try to, if we don't put so much fear into it, we can actually, new moon, like I'm releasing all of those old things so that I can have this new, beautiful, intensely personal future. So, so go with your passions. It is, it does bring in intimacy. There's actually a lot of financial investment energy as well around, taxes. Yeah. So, it is a good time for having a look. I mean, obviously, make sure you have all the information relevant. So yeah, that's the 13th. So that's in Tassie. It's 8:27 p.m. So, you've got 8 hours either side on a new moon to sort of, write down your intentions. Generally on the past the new moon because you're allowing the moon to, have a coffee and sort of wake up a bit. So yeah, you've got until sort of Tuesday morning-ish to write those intentions about, this amazing new future that you want to create for yourself.
Oh, awesome. That's a Monday. I was talking to someone last night about we've been brewing up a bit of a mentoring session for people, offering, I think we've just $22 a month for people to come in and be mentored and have an ongoing thing. So that could be a good starting point.
Absolutely. So definitely that. And then, oh my God, like straight on, like I said, this month is like bang, bang, bang. The 18th.
Yes.
Okay. So 4:41 p.m. on the 18th. All right. So we've got a good afternoon. It is basically a Mars new moon. All right. Well, a new Mars cycle. So we've got the Mars exactly conjunct the sun in its own sign of Scorpio. So, I mean, it is heralding a whole new cycle for Mars. So it is a great time for you to start new projects. All right. So wherever Scorpio is in your chart, have a look at what house that's in. And it's a great time to, like I said, be starting new, like it's Mars. You could do a new exercise routine to transform your body. You could start a new trial, something or other. Like if it's in business, you might like, okay, I'm going to do this now. All right. It's the start of a 2.5 year cycle. Now, interestingly, this is the first time in 32 years that Mars has met back up with the sun in its own sign of Scorpio. So it is very, very powerful. And if you can remember 32 years ago, how old was I? I was like 16 or 17. It was probably a pretty intense time of your life at that time as well. And I know it definitely was for me at 16.
It would have been for me 30 to 67, 32, 5. Oh, yes, absolutely. Yes.
Yeah. So rather than, as an older and wiser person, you now get to direct that energy. And so, I mean, Mars, Mars in Scorpio loves lifting weight, boxing, intense type of energy release. And you could go and yodel if you wanted to. That's still an intense energy release. You sing, you dig, like, there's a lot of things you can do, but it is so much about expelling physical energy. All right. So try and start up a new exercise routine. You'll have the legs to continue on with the project, whatever it is you start at that time.
Not one of those start it and drop it the week later.
No, it's a great one for starting new things. And straight off the back of the new moon as well. So just keep on keeping on.
Yeah.
So,
okay. Oh, awesome. So you would I would be recommending for all these new moon intentions and dreaming and bringing things to fruition, I would be looking at envision, hope, envision, and hope. I would be looking at motivation, abundance, of course, so that we can, work with that abundance of moving forward with the abundance of financial support, health, abundance in all those things. What else? Even believe.
Jean's popped in there, believe.
Yes, Jean. Good on you. Yeah, absolutely. Believe. Transformation, if you feel you need a little bit more, if you feel like you've really got to pull yourself out of that funk, if that's where you're at. But dream.
Keyword is transformation.
Transformation.
Absolutely. Yeah, that's a massive Scorpio keyword. So
yeah. Okay. So there you are. There's your oil for the month. Fantastic. or well, a few of your
Yeah.
oils. So, and if you don't have, say, Believe, or some of them, you can, some of these blends, you can just go there, comes in there now. You can look at your product guide, or you can just Google Believe Young Living, or give me a PM, and we will get those oils sorted so that you can have them in hand and expand your ability and ground your ability to bring all this amazing energy through that Bridget is telling us is going to be intensified.
All right. So now I did actually miss one because I got too overexcited. On the 10th, we have Mercury moving into Sagittarius. So if you in the last couple of weeks have been like, if your thought process has been like focused in, Mercury in Scorpio is like the private investigator. All right. So if you have been digging deep in those nitty gritty topics, and even going into, like I was saying, those darker recesses that we tend to shy away from, once Mercury goes into Sagittarius, we come back up and we're like, Sagittarius is all about understanding and spirituality and abundance and knowledge. So, even though Mercury is in a place where it's in detriment, it's not as strong, it's still very social and fun and lessons. So, our thought processes are probably going to lift a little bit more, and we might be able to, with these other intense things, make sense of them or put their meaning, their deeper spiritual meaning on top of the experiences that we're having. So that's a bonus and a benefit.
Yeah. Beautiful. Excellent.
Yeah. All right. So now, okay, we've got another block. All right. So this was up to the 18th I got to. Then we have a couple of days of reprieve where we have the sun moving into Sagittarius on the 23rd. All right. So we go from, a big deep dive to action and adventure, and it's being ruled by Jupiter. So knowledge and abundance and, maybe traveling overseas or having a big grander view of the scale of things. All right. So that's the sun moving into Sag on the 23rd. Mars moves into Sag on the 24th. All right. So that takes Mars out of its intensity into let's play sport. Let's get moving, a bit more action and adventure in a different way. And then on the 26th, we have Mars now in Sag, square Saturn in Pisces. All right. So this looks like how is your higher thought process challenging those limiting subconscious beliefs that you have? All right. So, it's patience, it's endurance, it's challenging yourself to look above the drama so that you can rewrite the narrative of your life. Personal development and oils and spirituality is all about becoming a better person. It's about rising above, and so, challenges make us stronger and more resilient. So that 26th, the 26th, another day where just hold on and breathe through it and try to find the higher aspect of what is going on for you. That's a bit of an intense one.
Yeah, it makes me think breathe again, which we have in a roll on as well. But, just to help you with that process of, particularly if you're going through a bit of a tough time, grab your belief. It's got lots of eucalyptus in, which is refreshing and renewing and opening the space for us to move forward in a beautiful way. So I'm going to put that, and this one's great also if you've got sniffles, if you're feeling got breathing issues. So actually a lot of people who have breathing issues like asthma, they just love the breathe again because it helps them to just take in some breaths with less stress.
All right, now let me go to my last one. All right, so the last one is the last lunation of the month of November, which is the Gemini full moon. All right, now we've got the moon in Gemini, so thinky, opposing the sun in Sagittarius. All right, so we've got this, it's about writing and expressing, communication, publishing. It's very knowledge, curiosity based. All right, so we still have that Mars conjunct the sun, but it is now separating. So that energy is still quite potent, but diminishing. We're not like forcing ourselves forward. We just still have the energy to mentally continue on with the process. All right. So in the quest of knowledge and adventure, sometimes you must restrain yourself because you know better. All right. Don't fight to charge ahead if all the pieces in place can't be seen. All right. So send out your sentries while all the facts become clearer, and rest while things unfold. All right. So don't just rush in blind. Make sure that you're using your knowledge and strategy and communication skills. If you're not sure, don't act upon things. Like I said, send out the sentries. This Mars is very, warlike, and, the strategy of war, like in all the old sort of Game of Thrones, they had that massive big board, the massive big map where everybody was, and it's sort of
Plan.
like that.
Have the plan.
Okay. Yes. So thank you.
And what date was that? What date was the full
That is
moon?
the 27th of November at 8:15 p.m.
Now, how does that go when we are, when we're on daylight savings? So is that 8 p.m. our daylight savings time, or is that the normal time?
That's Aussie time. So it will be 7 p.m. in Brisbane and 5 p.m. in WA. Sorry about South Australia. I don't know what your breakdown is, but
half an hour difference.
Yeah.
So that would be 8.
Okay.
8:30. Oh,
7:30.
I think they do. Sorry. Sorry, yes, it will be there 7:30. I think, do they do daylight savings? I can't remember. I think they would. Because Brisbane doesn't.
Yeah. So all the times I do a set Tassie time because I'm a Tassie astrologer.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah. So yeah, very, very, like there's a lot of the word cunning came up just then.
Be savvy,
lots
smart,
of be cunning, thinking, strategy, knowledge, foresight.
So, and Gemini, they're in that thinking. It's an air sign, isn't it? So it's the thoughts, getting your thoughts. So I'd be looking at.
It's the moon also that is in Gemini too. So how we're feeling can be quite excited. So something to ground you, because we've got a fire sun and an air moon, so both mutable. So yeah, we want something to ground us.
Grounding. So that grounding blend. Frankincense is grounding. I mean, we have a lot of oils that are grounding, but they're the blends that frankincense, Palo Santo, anything like that. Palo Santo would be good because that, and frankincense has that aspect too, to take your doubts away and, your negative thinking, anything that's going to limit you. We are always stuck in our heads. Absolutely, Jean, and particularly women, because our thoughts are, rattling around in our head, and sometimes we're just like a mouse on a Ferris wheel, and the same things come back and back and back. So it's very good for us to make a decision that, for me, what I do is if I've got myself into a bad habit or something that keeps repeating and it's not worthwhile, I will do things like, next time that thought comes in, I'm going to shift it to this, or I'm going to take this action, or so that when those old patterns come up and present, you've already got in place what your next plan is. So you're ahead of the game, and it's all around that strategizing that you were talking about, or that planning, the cunningness. So
Mm.
be aware of things that are, maybe that you're, a bit stressed out about. And I guess a lot of people at this time, we are coming into December, which is a time where most families love, most, no, I won't put us all in the same basket, but families like to get together. And that, of course, brings in a whole dimension. And I'm imagining we'll talk a lot about that next month. What is happening and whatever. But really, if we know, I suppose now people are starting to say, well, who's coming over for Christmas, and who's invited, who's on the list, what are we doing? And it's probably a good idea, if you know they are intense times that can be triggering for you or other people, maybe you need to come up with a plan this year to negate it, or make your own plans and do your own thing. Or, okay, we know this is going to be awkward, so what can we do? What can we put in place to eliminate some of that awkward feeling? Because Christmas is a mixed blessing for many of us, I think.
Yeah. As a bonus for Christmas this year, just having a look at my board, we've actually got a Sun sextile Saturn, which is great because, we've got that family and just exactly what you were just saying. With Saturn in Pisces, we understand what our subconscious narrative is. We are rewriting it as this year is continuing. And on the 27th, there's actually a Cancer full moon, and it's actually a beautiful one. So, this year, we're actually going to have a pleasant Christmas.
Oh,
That
no.
families won't be as dramatic as what they have previously been. So,
Most of,
but,
yeah, most of mine will be
yeah.
away. It'll be very cool, calm and collected.
There you go. There you go. So definitely a better one this year than last. Like, the end of this year is amazing. So, if you do want to go out for New Year's somewhere, I would be booking if you want to go to a venue, book it now, because it is extraordinary the energy we have at the end of the year, and it is going to be so festive.
Wow.
So a good year this year. So
And that's interesting you say that, because where I am locally at Sisters Beach, there's something at the local shop, then there's something at Boat Harbour, which is just the next bay around, and then there's another gathering that I've been invited. So I've already got 3 different New Year's Eve options. So I'm not sure. And then I thought, could you do a bit of both? But usually you settle in and you don't want to go too far.
That's it. So that's my breakdown for you for November. As a whole, just, like you were just saying about, us noticing our triggers and having a new option in your mind, so that when you do see those flags flying, or you recognize the feeling of an old experience, you can go, we're doing this now. And even the whole clapping, making the deliberate change. So,
Wake yourself up. That's a good idea. I like that little thing, because when we know we want to change things, we've got to make a decision about how's it going to happen, and that we can't be expecting that to come from someone else. It's got to come from within, and it's probably a good time to let the shadow come out of into the light, and release it. So some release would be great as well, and release it, and then you are making that space to bring the new things in. Thank you for your lovely comments, Jean. Great advice. Thanks. Yes. So, I often talk to people in my one-on-one sessions, where people come, and they usually come because they're stuck in the old, or there's some inner deep fear that they need to bring to the surface to release. And I always say to people, once we've released what we don't want, we need to bring in what we do want, because there's a void in that space, and we need to fill it with all the juice and goodness, and all the positivity, even fill it with, what are my new actions going to be when XYZ says this to me, or I know it triggers me. So this time it's not going to trigger me. I'm just going to take a breath, clap my hands, and maybe walk away. Or I'm just going to love on that person. Whatever it is that we need to do to shift the dynamic.
Yeah, that's it. And we are wholly responsible for our experience.
Yes.
That's why we do things. So we don't have to give our power away. And oh my God, Mars and power. Like if like I was saying earlier, if you're seeing other people struggle with the Mars energy, then you can just reinforce and have that determination, which is also Mars, to respond, don't react. Or put your boundaries up, or walk away, or there's still the strength of will available to you, no matter which way you use it. So yeah,
absolutely. So Bridget, tell us, how do we find you? bridgetsastrology.com.
yeah, bridgetsastrology.com.au. And also, my Lifetime to Level Up group in the mornings on Facebook at 8:30, Monday to Saturday, or Saturday it's 9 a.m., but Monday to Friday I do daily guidance. And oh my God, like, how good is the group? We've got such a great group of people, mostly ladies. I do have quite a few gentlemen as well. So yeah, come and find me at Lifetime to Level Up. I do personal readings. You can book either in the group or go to my website. I've got a couple of different options. And just like Kay as well, I do astrological inspired coaching as well. I have lots of people that just want that guidance or the heads up to know what's coming up. That's why I love Astro, because you can just look ahead and go, heads up, beware, or, great time to do this, or stay away from that. But yeah,
I like that. And really a lot of like Chinese business people, or even the royals, they have their astrology charts done, and it's quite interesting. So, we're not here in Australia, where it's not sort of part of our culture really, but in a lot of places, that's what you do. So if you are wondering about how to navigate your way forward, particularly if you are thinking, I've had a pretty dull a few years lately, or this year hasn't gone the way you would like it, it is time for us to take some action. So book in with Bridget. When you've got your chart done, then that is going to be so good to help you to navigate your way forward. And then you grab yourself some oils, or you grab yourself oils first and then do Bridget's chart, whatever. And you've got your strategic tools to pull out and work with. So
yeah, and how important is the toolbox, Kay? Like, your toolbox is mainly made up of oils, but like our toolboxes, we need to remember all of the, we're coming up for another Mercury retrograde next month, so it is time to, we're coming up for reviews all the time, and it's 10 steps forward, 8 steps back. This is the cha-cha of life. So,
get with
dance.
the rhythm. Now you want me to have a bit of a dance. So contact me or reach out, come and find me, Kay's Essential Oil Wisdom on Facebook. If you are not in there, please come on over. If you have not grabbed yourself some oils and you are sitting on the fence and you're ready to talk to me, just send me a message and we will have a conversation. If you are thinking of Christmas presents and saying, oh my God, I don't want to go to the shops and cope with all that fuss, Young Living is going to sort all of those things out. Or you might even like to gift somebody an astrology reading. So there's so many options that we can do.
I'm actually working on my gift vouchers right now.
Are you? Good on you. That's awesome. That's great. So when you've got them, please post them in the Oil Wisdom group. Because
amazing.
people like to post them in there, and we'll make sure people are well aware of what's going on. Bridget, I am so delighted. I've had a few weeks off because I've needed to recoup my energy, and over the next month or so I'll be looking at for the end of the year and into 2024. And of course, we love all you beautiful viewers. I
Thank
will
you.
look forward to seeing you all on the next round. And thank you very much, Bridget. From us to you, oil up, tune into the stars and the moon and the sun, and you will move forward with lots of this beautiful Mars action that is going to have us running our legs off in the right direction for the right reason, with the right people,
Absolutely.
with the right outcome. So that's my ending note. Love you all. Thank you. Bye.
Thanks.